It
right?
just came back, and I was looking at it. I was looking at the bowl. I was looking at the gobbler sandwich. I'm like, Jim always raves about this every year, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna have to pick one of these one time and just get a taste review on it. So
Wait, you've never had it?
I've never had it.
Never had it.
I've
Shut the
never
front
had it.
door. Shut the
I've
front
never
door.
had it. Everybody, welcome to One Set. Yeah.
And then I had Raw on mute on the other TV, so I was like kind of paying attention, kind of not, and trying to hold out on the Eagles pulling out the W to stay undefeated. But man,
Yeah.
to eat their first L against the Commanders at home. Cue the world's smallest violin, right?
Right. It wasn't the loss that we expected. That we all knew it was coming sometime, around, or a lot of people thought it would have already came by a previous team, maybe the Packers or something. But I don't think anybody thought it was going to be the Commanders at home. So the loss here definitely stings, but I'm not mad about it because we're still 8-1, we're still ahead of the division. But I think the fact that it's just they just didn't play well either, and I think that's where it really makes it hard to be like well, we're 8-1, it's not a problem. But the fact that they didn't really play as well as what we're used to them playing like over the last couple weeks. And even the Texans, they had a hard time. So that was even more like, oh, okay. I mean, they're a good team, but they're starting to kind of, and not like they weren't even really getting, ahead of themselves. Is more, I think, they're starting to, make some more errors. They're starting to do this. So you're starting to really see, okay, well, hopefully this doesn't start, tumbling down to something. I think we just eventually just saw that last night, or when this comes out, it'll be, a couple nights ago.
Yeah, I mean, they're playing the Colts on Sunday.
Yeah.
Hang on, I have a cheat sheet right here. They're playing the Colts in Indianapolis, and then next Sunday is when we host the Packers, which that was the game that I was saying a couple weeks ago. Like, that might be the game that they eat the L. Like, I
would have much rather taken the L with that one, if anything. But yeah,
me too. I mean, the Packers just beat Dallas.
Yes,
in overtime, dude. I didn't catch that game. You were coming home from fishing with your dad, and you had the game.
Yeah,
you had the
the Bills and the Vikings.
The Bills and the Vikings, man. My God,
everybody's talking about that,
dude. Okay, so we have been in the middle of moving, right? But we had the game on, and we were like going through stuff in the basement, so we didn't pay attention to like the middle portion of the game. But it got to like the last 3 minutes, and we just stopped what we were doing. We were like, all right, let's catch the end. I think I've said Cheyenne has is basically like, I think I'm gonna go with the Bills as my new team. Not over the Steelers, but
yeah, of course,
she got into football when Ben started. So for him to be out and the Steelers to not be doing great, she's like, okay, I need like another team that I want to like fangirl for.
Right.
And by all means, I have grown to really appreciate how great the Bills are. Like,
Mm-hmm.
they're,
They had a good season last year, and I mean, they're having a couple of hiccups this year, but I mean, they're a great football team as well.
Yeah. So I'm pretty stoked. I obviously wanted the Bills to win because like they are a team that like we're both into right now. But I also really wanted them to pull out the win because the Vikings were also 7-1. So we're like, as an Eagles fan, we're trying to keep them like their record down so that they're not encroaching on our number one seed to get our first round bye in the postseason, right? So I'm pretty sure right now we are still the first seed, even after taking the loss to the Commanders. We are tied 8-1 with the Vikings, but we get the tiebreaker because I think we have more points forced and less points allowed. Like I'm pretty sure that that's how that works for seeding, right?
Right.
Again, I'm not like I'm very new into football, so any football gurus that listen to this and they're like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Like, yeah, I'm very new. I'm very new into all of this, so I'm learning along the way. Yeah, they are doing.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing 7 teams enter the postseason per conference, and it's the top seed, the top
seed of
number
each
one
division.
seed.
Yeah,
it gets the
and
first
then they have a
round
wild
bye,
card,
and then it's second seed. The second seed plays the 7th seed. The 3rd seed plays the 6th seed, and then the 4th and 5th seeds face each other, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So, like I said, we would like to secure that first round bye just to keep our guys healthy and let them rest and all that stuff. Then again, I mean,
Absolutely.
well, did the Eagles have the first round bye? The year they won the Super Bowl, I think they did.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. They had the number one. Either they were number one in the division. They had home field advantage, and they had the bye.
Yeah.
So
because the Vikings,
they were in a really good.
The Vikings were like crushing the season, and then they came to Philly and they lost bad. Like they got they got one touchdown in the beginning of the game. That's it. Right? Like they didn't score anything after that, and we scored like 5 touchdowns or something like that. We absolutely demolished them. But
that was definitely an awesome game to watch.
I gotta say, currently, Kirk Cousins seems to be doing some pretty good stuff. My God, Jefferson.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting remainder of the season just to see how the Eagles pan out. And again, just doing a little football talk now that baseball's over, right?
Right. Yeah.
For the time being. Again, my cheat sheet card right here. I got this. I got this little thing at Wawa, right? And on it's for your key ring, and the other side has the schedule. And I'm like,
yeah.
I need to be using this.
Something like that too.
I need to be using this every week for the podcast rather than I'm pulling up my phone and I'm pulling up my internet browser and looking all the time. I'm like, boom, right here.
It's like pulling out the littlest phone, like.
Sunset, right? Yeah, so the we have the Colts, the Packers. Titans should be a tricky game because Titans are pretty
Yeah.
strong. And then we're at we haven't played the Giants yet, and the Giants are second in the
No.
division. So
Yeah.
that's
They're playing
going to
really
get
good too.
yeah. So we play at the Giants first after the Titans game, and then we're at Chicago Bears and at the Cowboys. Yeah, we're away for like all of December, and which we already said we would definitely like to get the win on Christmas Eve, but we already got the one win against Dallas, right?
Exactly.
Which I said division games, I'm usually like, we usually go 1-1 kind of thing. Because we division currently, I think we're 4-1. I'm pretty sure pretty sure we were 4-0, right? Like, because we beat Dallas and we beat the Commanders. Am I wrong about 4-1? That sounds
no. I think we're 2-1 right now.
Yeah.
I think the Dallas game, Commanders. Then we played the Commanders again. I think we've only had 3 division games, so I think we're 2-1.
Okay, yeah. What the stat that I was thinking of was like our wins at home, right?
Gotcha.
We were 4-0 at home, and now we're 4-1 at home. That's what I was getting mixed up.
Right. Yeah. 2-1 in the division, which I still think is, obviously good. If anything, I'm not sure what the other divisions are like. What the other teams in our division are like. If they're obviously, at least everybody's got a win, I would like to think. So I'd have to look at it.
Yeah, I'd have to like really skim over all of that, but yeah, that's a pretty sweet shirt you got there, man.
Yeah, man. I like yours too.
Yeah, this shirt actually, I'm real picky about my t-shirts.
Same,
right? Like the arms can't be like too baggy, and then like obviously I don't love form fitting, like super tight shirts. I used to maybe 5 years ago. How about you? Same? Yeah.
Same. Like in my emo hardcore days, wearing like the tight t-shirts and everything, and when your fat rolls are showing, like, no, but this is the style.
You didn't really wear skinny jeans though, right?
Not to the sense like before skinny jeans actually were made for guys, legit dudes would be buying girls' jeans and wearing them until they started making them for guys. I never went that far, but I did have a pair of like, skinny jeans from Hot Topic before. And they were I think they were one of my first like legit like skinny jeans. And I was like, okay, these are kind of tight. But I would only wear them for shows. They were tight. But I would only wear them for shows. I never really wore them out to be out, unless I was doing some type of music thing. Then I would wear them, but I wouldn't really wear them out because I was still kind of like 50-50 on them. But today I don't really wear like skinny jeans, but they're more like form fit tapered like jeans,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's real weird. Like I think I had a pair of like jeans that were slightly baggier, and I put them on. I was like, I can't do this, which is so weird because like back in the late 90s, early 2000s, I was wearing the Lee pipes that were like super baggy jeans, right?
Yeah.
I think
I still remember
what
getting my first pair.
Yeah, me too. I like wore them to death. I was like, man, I'm so cool in 6th grade. Whatever. um,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah,
it
whatever.
was. Yeah, yeah, whatever. My United States of whatever. Wow, that was such a fun exchange we had the other
Yeah,
day about that.
it was.
Um, so what what other what other jean company had like the baggy? I think I had these
Janko.
jeans called Janko was like kind of the one like they were the pricier ones, right? Um
Yeah, it was always in between Janko and Levi pipe, like
Lee
Lee
pipes.
pipes. Those are like the
Yeah.
two that were like, back and
They
forth, at least that I
yeah.
knew of.
I had I had a couple pairs that they were called B1 Soul. They were probably just like a knockoff
Hmm.
brand. They were a little cheaper and I was just like,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. I still look fly as
Whoopsie.
right? So,
Right.
um
Yeah.
yeah.
You get the
Yeah.
point across.
Same, right?
Yeah. Same. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Um
I mean, when this comes out, Thanksgiving's going to be within the week.
mhm. Yeah, 6 days.
So,
Okay.
and here's the thing. I'm going to ask you this. I know we're not too big on like Thanksgiving, but my thing is always after Halloween, everybody looks past Thanksgiving and automatically goes to Christmas. And I'm always the one saying, slow your roll. Give it to Thanksgiving, then we can start the Christmas music. Because I do not like listening to Christmas music until after Thanksgiving.
Oh, you mean on 99.5 right now? I'm like scrolling through the channels and
Right.
and there's Mariah Carey right there and I'm like just shut the radio off.
Yeah. No.
I think I'm not. All right.
Yeah, I mean, anything before Thanksgiving, because like I said, Jen is a big Christmas thing, so she's already kind of in like somewhat of the Christmas mood. But every time, I'm like,
Right.
not yet. You got like a week or two left. Calm it down. And after Thanksgiving, I'm like, you can listen to as much Christmas music after that, but until then, no. Or at least don't listen
Eh,
around me.
yeah, like leave me be. It's like okay, so let's talk about Thanksgiving then, right? Um
Yeah.
I as a kid, uh I because I used to wake up at 7:30 in the morning, or
Hmm.
7 a.m. sometimes. But I'd wake up and like, on the weekend, I'd like go down and play video games, or on Thanksgiving, I'd go down and play video games. And
Uh huh.
I think when I was like young, I didn't care about the parade. I was like, it's fine, it's whatever. Like the Macy's, not
Hmm.
Macy's. Macy's is the New York one. Boscov's parade,
Right.
right, is the Philly one.
Hmm.
I think when I was like 5 to 7, I was like, whatever. Um, I'd say by the time I was like 8, I think mostly because by then I was actually like in into dancing and in dance. Like I was in dance class by the time I was 8. So watching people perform on TV, I was like, oh look, cool. Um, and also the studio that I grew up
Hmm.
at, um, they took their competition team to dance in the parade. So my sisters actually got to like my older sisters got to dance in the parade. Um, so I mean that was pretty cool because I was like, oh my god, there's my sisters on TV, right? Um, right. Um, I don't I don't think that I don't remember being there to see them perform at the parade. Like I think I was home with my dad and I think my mom just took my sisters to go right, Kim? Sounds right. We were up for the rehearsal the night before. Yeah, it was brutally cold. It was so cold. I do remember that.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, and then I think as I you know aged into my teenage years, I still watched the parade. For the most part, I wouldn't wake up early because like by the time we were teenagers, we were sleeping in a little bit more, right? Um, but yeah, I would watch
Right.
like until the end of it. But then I guess through I guess after turning 21 and going out on Thanksgiving Eve was like a thing, and then I would just miss the parade. So um
Yeah. I never really got into the parades until, you know, being with Jen, 'cause she used to watch them a lot and she still does. And I never really got into like the Boscovs and Macy's day parades. I think it was more, the New Year's parades and watching those and the Christmas ones. Uh but yeah, I mean, like I said, I didn't really obviously start going out on Thanksgiving Eve until like college and stuff. So it was more just Thanksgiving really wasn't much of a thing with our family other than just it being it's just a Sunday dinner on a Thursday, it, and then just having a couple more family members. And so, and having a couple more specialty, you know, meals and stuff, so, I
right.
mean, we try to make it as special, but it's just, a Sunday dinner on a different day in a way.
Yeah. I mean, it was essentially that, you know, when I was growing up too, other than like my dad had the parades on and whatnot. Um,
Hmm.
I think, yeah, because my mom would like cook, but I think growing up it was just like I might have had like an aunt. Oh God, there's a spricket over there, and I am cringing hard. Uh, Kim, Kim was just saying earlier, oh, there's a cricket down here. I wonder if she was talking about this thing over here, which I'm going to have to get up and kill in 2 seconds because it's coming my way. um, but, but yeah, I think my, my mom's brother, I'm pretty sure came over for Thanksgiving a lot of the years while I was growing up.
Hmm.
Now, oh yeah, that thing just hopped. I'm going to have to kill this sucker real quick. Um, just did it again. Yep. Excuse me. All right.
Okay.
So
So you were saying your dad's family and stuff for Thanksgiving.
yeah, my mom's brother would come over.
Hmm.
But that was I think that was basically it. Maybe um I think my cousin came over when I was younger before she got married. Um I think, not positive. I don't remember that far back. But now it's like a general Sunday family dinner with everybody.
Yeah.
Um but I mean we I'd say before COVID, really, we used to do Sunday dinner with like my siblings and significant others, like almost every Sunday, unless if um, like if we were away or something like that, right? Um,
Yeah.
or if like someone was at like a sports game or an event of some sort, right? Now it's like we have to like make arrangements to get everyone together. Um,
Hmm.
which is fine. Everyone's got like their own lives that they're living and stuff. But yeah, Thanksgiving is like definitely everyone is getting together, and um, my brother actually doesn't do. He has, but It depends. I think sometimes like he'll move around with his wife's family on Thanksgiving sometimes. Um,
Right.
but they're definitely over um like on Christmas night kind of thing, which
Hmm.
we'll get into that. Uh, we'll get into all the Christmas stuff in a later episode. We have ideas for that one already, right? Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Soon.
soon. Um, yeah. I mean, what I'm trying to think. Like, um, I'd say like sweet potatoes are like, other than like the turkey and the stuffing, sweet potatoes are like,
Yeah.
oh, like for me, like a real Thanksgiving unique. Like, okay, we only eat this on Thanksgiving, right? A lot of the
Hmm.
other stuff we like, I see like around, the calendar year for the most part. What about you?
Yeah. Uh, I always look forward to green bean casserole.
Okay, so that wasn't actually a thing for me like growing up. Like it just wasn't like a dish that was made. But
Yeah.
Kim actually, who is upstairs at the moment, but um, she started making it like a few years ago, and I was like, okay, I can get down with this. This is pretty good.
Yeah. It's
Um,
good. Yeah, because
yeah.
Jen makes it. Her mom makes it. Her mom made it first. Then Jen tried to do it on her own. And usually, me being myself, I like to be the taste tester. And
Mhm.
she's uh she continues to make it, so it's a good thing. So she's doing it pretty good. Because I don't remember if my parents did green bean casserole. Maybe we did. Just it wasn't like a every year type of thing.
Hmm.
But now it's a every year thing because I'm like, I look forward to this every year. So that's definitely like number one for me. And like you said, outside of like turkey and stuffing, uh, you know, I one thing I don't like, never did. I'm not sure if you feel the same. Cranberry sauce. I don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like pretty 50-50 on it, right? Like, so the Wawa gobbler, right? Like the turkey bowl,
It
right?
just came back, and I was looking at it. I was looking at the bowl. I was looking at the gobbler sandwich. I'm like, Jim always raves about this every year, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna have to pick one of these one time and just get a taste review on it. So
Wait, you've never had it?
I've never had it. I've
Shut the
never
front
had it.
door. Shut the
I've
front
never
door.
had it. I've always
Okay.
been tempted, but I think it's more the fact that I'm always thinking, I'm like, okay, I know if I have it, I know I'm gonna love it and I'm gonna want it that much more. It's kind of the same thing with what is it? The McDonald's Shamrock Shake that always comes out during St. Patrick's Day. I don't
Yeah.
get it because I know I'm gonna like it, and then I'm gonna be wanting to buy it like every day. So it's
Yeah.
like it's more that I know I'm gonna like this sandwich. So it's like if I tell myself don't get it, then I won't have to worry about being like, oh well, crap. Now I like it. Now every time it's here, I gotta like stuff my face every other day and have a sandwich or a bowl.
My dad and I were literally just talking about this last night. Because he was like, is there any Kentucky Fried Chickens around anymore? And I was like, um, I mean, I don't think there's any standalone ones. Like, I haven't seen a standalone
No.
KFC. But so I Googled it, I wound up on Wikipedia.
Hmm.
And so I learned it's actually the second largest global restaurant chain, next underneath McDonald's. KFC is number
KFC.
two. Yeah,
Wow.
it's pretty crazy, right? Um,
Yeah.
so
I didn't think that because now that you see KFC, it's usually like mixed with Taco Bell.
so as I was reading, um, the the so KFC is a subsidiary of like Yum Yum something, Yum Food something. I forget what exactly it's called. Um,
Something foodie.
but something foodie. Yeah. This is foodie now, I guess. It's like a freaking it's like the claw. It moves, right?
Like,
Yeah.
stupid.
Stupid. That's pretty good sound effects though on your end, bro. That was really good.
Yeah, thanks. I learned
Not bad.
I learned it all by myself.
Yeah. You were born in the 80s, right?
Yeah, right. Like, yeah, this
So
used to be a
anyway,
toy for us. Yeah.
yeah. So KFC subsidiary of this foodie company, which
Mhm.
also owns Taco Bell and Pizza Hut. That's why you see the Kentaco Hut
Gotcha.
joint restaurants.
Hmm.
And then I was like, oh, KFC was actually founded by Colonel Sanders. I was like, is this guy really like a colonel like in the army? So I went to his Wikipedia page. I was like, this guy didn't serve a day in his life.
He didn't serve a day in his life.
I was like, this guy's just a straight up businessman. He's like, yeah, I sell chicken, and end of story.
And I call myself the Colonel.
Yeah. He like from Kentucky, go figure, right? Developed like the secret recipe, and his one
Right.
restaurant in Kentucky blew up, like super popular. And then he opened, I think they said the first KFC was in like Salt Lake City, Utah, and then that started. And then it just happened like that. He was just like, boom, global. See ya.
Just everywhere.
Everywhere. Yeah. He sold the company for like,
Yeah, we used to have the Taco Bell and KFC in Brookhaven, but something happened with the KFC, or I know there was some type of like emergency fire situation, and now it's just the Taco Bell. But I'll tell you what, KFC and their what is it, the popcorn chicken bowl, the popcorn chicken, mashed potatoes, corn, and gravy in there. Oh my god, that was so good.
dude, KFC was like a once a month treat in my household growing up, because it was like we knew how greasy and awful it was, like for you, like
Right.
on a health spectrum. But my god, I actually would peel the breading off of the chicken and just eat the breading by itself and be like, this is bomb, right?
Then all that salt.
Yeah. It's crazy. My uncle told me once, and I don't think he was just like making it up to be funny. He's like, yeah, this one time, not at band camp, Jesus. Okay. He was
man.
like, oh man, he had to go there, right? He was like, I got what looked like a chicken leg, except it was in the shape of a chicken's head. He's like, so they definitely like, I guess a head made it through. I was like, I thought that they chopped those things
Some dudes
off.
just making it. They see the head. There's like,
They were just like,
in that fryer.
get in that fryer.
In that fryer. But yeah, I mean, they have been saying like that there have been past things of like, you know, people having like a chicken head or, you know, chicken's foot being fried and put into like the chicken baskets and stuff like that, which it would be very, very odd. I've never obviously experienced that, but it'd be very odd to, you know, open up a bag of chicken. You're like, there's a chicken head in here, like, or a chicken foot. Like, what? I got three wings, a breast, and a head.
Yeah, like the chicken head dance. Oh man, that was back in the day.
Yeah, that.
I don't think you remember that one. It had like a very short run in like the hip hop industry. Probably a shorter run than definitely shorter than the Woe. Dab stayed around for quite a while, actually. It got real annoying.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
I
folks didn't
wasn't
stay around long.
I wasn't really too into the dad thing. I mean, it grew on me for like a hot second, then I'm like, all right, I'm done.
I like randomly did it while I was teaching last week, and if it was like the kids class, I don't even know if they would know what that is, because it's like the kids now, they're like, I don't think they were even around when it wasn't there. They
No.
just weren't old enough to comprehend like pop culture things like that. I did it in like I did it we we were going across I was going across the floor with my teens at
Hmm.
my one studio, and it's just a real, it's kind of a weird not, I don't want to say weird dynamic, they're just pretty quiet. So like I randomly threw it up, like just I, I I did it, and then I walked away. I was like, did I really just do that? God, I am so not cool anymore. If I ever once was cool, it's gone.
Hey, did you
uh,
just like sneeze or something? Like,
yeah, chew, my bad.
yeah,
Freaking
I'm
Christ.
just gonna go in here and jump out the window.
I was on the second floor, so I very well could have.
It did cross my mind.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, Thanksgiving stuff, like we were talking about like foods that we do and do not like, and um I'm trying to think. I mean, other than that, I mean, again, I understand why so many people just pass over Thanksgiving because it's just another special dinner. But I think it's just more the fact that it's like, everybody right after Halloween just says Christmas. And I'm like, chill out. Thanksgiving, then Christmas. And I'm
Dude,
and I'm not a Scrooge about it. Like I do like Christmas, but give Thanksgiving its time, and then we can get into Christmas.
yeah, I gotta say, um, I am so thankful that I grew up at a studio that didn't do um like a Nutcracker performance, because like a lot of dance studios,
Mm,
they do a Nutcracker in December, because they start that, teaching and choreographing in like August and September, and I'm like, I
I
can't,
bet.
I can't. Like
Yeah,
if
because that's like August, September, October, November, all like Christmas music and stuff. Yeah.
well, it's putting you in like holiday spirit when you're still jumping in the pool. I'm like, absolutely not.
Right.
And,
Yeah.
and this is coming from us who live in Pennsylvania in the United States of America, for our international
Hmm.
viewers here and listeners. Um,
Yeah.
we get snow, and like it's freezing temps in the winter months. We're not in Florida or like Southern California where it's like warm year round, right? Um,
All year
y-
round. Yeah.
we, as we have talked about, we close our pools for the winter because it freezes, right?
Yeah. We
Um,
get seasons. We get seasons over here.
seasons, bro. When's the last time you've had seasons pizza?
Oh. Um. At work, we have pizza Thursdays every Thursday. I think there was one week we did get seasons pizza one time.
A-
Again, pizza
And
is pizza to me every once in a while. So, I can't really remember. I can't really put a thing of like, oh, it was like amazing because, I mean, I've had good pizza, I've had bad pizza. Uh, or I mean, can't really say I've had bad pizza. I've had pizza that's been better than another establishment. But I can't really say I've had bad pizza before.
I mean, come on, man. Sometimes I've had pizza where the crust, it it it's really close to tasting like cardboard. It's not great. Like you can tolerate getting through it, but it's like you said, man, I've had way better pizzas than this before.
Like coming out of the oven, like right then and there, I don't really think I've had a bad one, but like I guess as a leftover, yes, I've had some bad. I would say I've had some bad ones from there, like where like the crust gets like too crunchy, and when you try to fold it, the crust just like crumbles at your fingers. Then I'm like, all right, come on, it's. So I guess I've had it. I've had more of the bad experiences in the leftover stage more than like the initial when the initial pizza comes out.
Yeah, I mean, Grotto's Pizza, which you have had, right? I know we've talked about this.
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. Yeah.
It's we try once a month to be like we're treating ourselves to Grotto's Pizza because it's so good. It's for those of you who don't know what Grotto's Pizza is, it is a Delaware staple. If you live in Delaware, you know what Grotto's Pizza is. Everybody gets it.
Yeah.
Unless you don't like pizza, which do you even live in America at that point? Sorry. I mean, I will say one thing. I don't think I've ever had pizza on Thanksgiving unless if it was from like the day before. And
was just thinking like we're talking about Thanksgiving, but then we're talking about pizza. Okay,
yeah, I know.
But yeah, you're saying about Grotto's Pizza. Have you ever had Gaetano's Pizza?
Never heard of it.
Oh my God. They just closed their shop in New Jersey, but they're known for their inside out pizza. So like the cheese is underneath the tomato sauce and the tomato sauce is on top. So good. I think they have a Gaetano's in Clifton Heights. I'll have to double check, but I know they have one closer to here instead of Jersey. But Gaetano's, if you're into the inside out pizza, or have you ever had an inside out pizza?
Yeah, I was actually going to ask you if you've ever had double decker.
I don't think so.
So double decker pizza, they have one in Media. I didn't have one until maybe 5 years ago. I was like, whoa, this is good.
Yeah.
I mean,
whenever we always had the inside out pizza, and from the cheese, from the sauce, and the crust, awesome pizza.
Excuse me. Yeah. So for anyone that's still tuning into this, we're going to have Anthony try his first turkey bowl in a couple of episodes. So that is 100% happening. And I will say,
yeah,
for me, I know it's a thing right now. Like I could go to Wawa probably right now at 12:14 a.m. and get it. But I don't want to spoil Thanksgiving. Like I want to do like the traditional turkey and stuffing and mashed potatoes on Thanksgiving. After that, and after the leftovers are all gone, then I'd say give it a week, and then I will get my first turkey bowl probably early December. So
now do they still do the turkey bowls and sandwich? They do the gobbler and everything. They do it into December, or do they only have it for November?
It goes into
Wawa?
like January, I'm pretty sure, and February, because it is
Okay.
It is straight up comfort food heaven. I promise you, man. It's so good. Now
that's what I am nervous because I know I'm gonna like it so much. But the only thing that gets me is the cranberry sauce. But I feel that like it's almost like what is it? In our food episode, the odd food we were eating, like it's almost like the cranberry sauce is going to be masked by all the other tastes that it's not going to be overpowering.
Well, the beautiful thing is that it's optional. You don't have to get it. You can literally just get the turkey
too. And I was thinking about that too, that you don't have to have it in there.
And I have had the sandwich before, and I'm just like it just becomes a messy sandwich. Like I always just put it in the bowl And I'm like, it is so filling as a bowl by itself. I'm like, I don't even need the bread. Sometimes if I want to treat
I was going to
myself,
ask you, which one do you prefer, the sandwich or the bowl? So,
definitely the bowl. And that to me
okay.
is like you're you're j- the bowl by itself. It's pretty filling. So
Yeah.
I think you're gonna get the bowl and then say, okay, I'd like to try the sandwich. Now you can get the bowl and then get a buttered roll on the side if you want. I'm just like, dude, the bowl
Right.
by itself fills me. It's so good. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you, I have had it before where it's not great. And it's if because Wawa, it's like everything's coming in frozen, right? So
Right.
so when they drop it, um shoot, I can't remember the name of it. It's been 10 years not 10 years since I worked there, but probably 10 years since I worked in the deli. I forget what it's called, but it's where you drop like the frozen stuff into the boiling hot water to basically
Mm.
thaw it out. But
Yeah.
it has to thaw out for like an hour before they take it out, cut the bag, and then they put it in like whatever the hot I can't remember the names of these things because it's been so long since I've even thought about it. I rarely worked in the deli, by the way,
Gotcha.
and I was slow at sandwich building, so miss me. Um but so when it got dropped into the steam table, maybe whatever, I'm just guessing now. Um it was allowed to stay in there with a lid on it for 12 hours. So if it's dropped in
Gotcha.
there immediately, oh my god, tastes so good. If it sits in there for 12 hours and you have it, tastes a little bit like rubber, just so you know. So if you get it
Mm.
and it tastes not great, it was sitting in there for a little
You
bit.
know, it's been sitting for a little bit.
Yeah. Yep. I've
Gotcha.
had it obviously
Little
having worked
tips.
there. Little tips. Having worked there, I I would know like before I would clock out if I knew that they dropped fresh turkey in. I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm getting a turkey bowl to take home with me.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. 100%. 100%.
I would totally ask, our listeners, what they think of this sandwich, but unfortunately, we have people may have if not listening to us now, but either way, we have people who have never experienced a Wawa before,
It's true.
and that's quite sad.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
especially when Wawa was like an every like I remember a time where for a couple years I was in there almost every day. Every day.
mm,
So now like I was in there this past weekend while I was moving, um both Saturday and Sunday morning getting like breakfast burritos because I was like because I don't do breakfast like most days ever. I don't eat until
yeah.
like 1:30. I know I've talked about that before. Um
Mm-hmm.
but we were getting early morning
Same.
same. Yeah, we were getting early morning starts like anywhere between 7:30 a.m. and 11, and I was like, I don't want to get started on like the process of packing things up and loading the trucks on an empty stomach because at some point I'm going to get cranky and hangry. So I
Right.
was like, I better put something in my system so that when I can start working, I have fuel for the fire, right?
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, Thanksgiving, man. Anything else you want to talk about before we get out of here?
Uh, I think this one is good. We got a little bit of, pre-Thanksgiving talks. Talked a little bit about the Eagles and our thoughts on their first loss. Hopefully, we see them coming back strong this Sunday in Indianapolis because the Indianapolis Colts are coming off of the first win with their new coach, who has no experience being a head coach. So he's coming off of like, a big adrenaline run. So it's going to be a decent game. And like I said, they have 2 or 3 games coming up that are, going to be pretty critical. Hopefully they don't take this loss too seriously and they learn from it and move on, and they get back to, doing what they have been over the last couple of weeks that has been, driving them into their 8-0 season prior to this game. You know, like I said, we're getting into the holiday season after this, so it's going to be, some fun times. But anything else you got to say, bud?
Nah, man. I know we had a couple other things that we wanted to talk about. We just we're running a little bit long, so we can hold off on those for a different time. Especially,
Yeah, absolutely.
The actual thing that I wanted to talk about should actually wait. And we'll get into it at a later time as to why. For anyone following along, stay tuned for that one. Anything else? We good?
I think we're good, man. Thank you all for staying with us for another episode, and we will see you guys on the next one. And like I said, stay tuned for the next episode. We got a big announcement, and we will see you then, guys. So this has been One Set.
Have a happy Thanksgiving, y'all. Thanks for everything.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving, everybody.